Hello and welcome to the Minimum Competence episode for Friday, November 22nd, 2024. I'm your host for today, Andrew Leahy, a tax and technology attorney from New Jersey. On today's episode, exit Matt Gaetz, enter Pam Bondi for Attorney General, Trump's Musk-led panel targeting federal rules, EU regulators dropping an Apple probe, and Biden's judicial deal. Let's remember, we are what we repeatedly do, and read today's legal news. On this day in legal history, obviously, Kennedy was assassinated, but for today, we have a little bit more of a lighthearted this day in legal history. On November 22nd, 1987, a bizarre and illegal hijacking of television signals in Chicago made history as the Max Headroom incident. During an evening broadcast of the news on WGN-TV, the signal was interrupted by a person wearing a rubber Max Headroom mask, a character from a popular British-American sci-fi show. The intruder, who spoke in distorted audio while a buzzing background noise played, reappeared later during a broadcast of Doctor Who on PBS affiliate WTTW. In the second interruption, the masked figure performed erratic gestures, spouted nonsensical phrases, and referenced TV culture, all culminating in a crude act involving a fly swatter. The Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, tasked with regulating airwaves, launched an immediate investigation as signal hijacking violates federal laws prohibiting unauthorized use of broadcast frequencies. Despite efforts by the FCC and law enforcement, the perpetrators were never identified, adding an air of mystery to the event. The technical feat required to override broadcast signals in 1987 suggested that the culprits had considerable expertise and access to specialized equipment. This incident was one of the most notorious cases of broadcast signal intrusion, highlighting vulnerabilities in television networks at the time. It also sparked debates about cybersecurity, freedom of expression, and the emerging role of hacktivism in digital media. No further incidents of this type occurred on such a scale in the United States, likely due to improvements in broadcast security and stricter regulatory oversight. President-elect Donald Trump announced his nomination of former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi as Attorney General following Matt Gaetz's withdrawal. Bondi, a longstanding Trump ally, has been a vocal supporter of his claims that the Justice Department's investigations into him were politically biased. If confirmed, Bondi would oversee major aspects of the DOJ, including defending controversial policies and managing federal grants. Trump praised Bondi for her toughness and alignment with his America First agenda. Bondi previously served on Trump's legal defense team during his first impeachment trial and has taken high-profile legal stances, including challenging the Affordable Care Act as Florida's Attorney General. However, her tenure has also been marked by controversies, such as accepting a Trump Foundation donation while considering action against Trump University, though no wrongdoing was found. Bondi's nomination comes as Trump plans significant changes to the Justice Department, including possible leadership changes, and amid ongoing federal indictments against him. Bondi has publicly supported Trump's claims of voter fraud and pledged to investigate alleged deep state actors. Her background includes working on drug policy and opioid abuse commissions during Trump's first term and involvement with the Trump-aligned America First Policy Institute. Matt Gaetz, initially chosen for the role, stepped down, citing the distraction caused by controversies, including a closed sex trafficking investigation and a House ethics probe. Trump's choice of Bondi highlights his intent to reshape the DOJ's focus while surrounding himself with trusted allies. President-elect Donald Trump has also appointed Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, tasked with identifying and repealing federal regulations they consider overly burdensome or invalid. The panel plans to focus on rules that they argue were enacted by unaccountable bureaucracies, guided by recent Supreme Court decisions that curtail agency rulemaking powers. DOGE also aims to propose mass layoffs and identify unauthorized federal spending, with a goal of completing its work by July 4th, 2026. Repealing federal rules, however, is a complex and lengthy process governed by the Administrative Procedure Act, which requires detailed justifications, public comment periods, and compliance with legal standards. While Trump could issue executive orders halting enforcement of certain rules, agencies must still follow formal procedures for repealing them. Lawsuits are likely to challenge attempts to eliminate regulations, especially by opponents who claim improper justification or procedural violations. Musk and Ramaswamy's efforts will leverage recent Supreme Court rulings limiting agencies' ability to address major economic or societal issues without explicit congressional authorization. That's Loper Bright. Despite this, many regulations have firm legal backing, making their repeal difficult. Legal experts predict a wave of lawsuits and mixed outcomes given the partisan makeup of federal courts. DOGE's recommendations signal Trump's broader agenda to significantly curtail the administrative powers of federal agencies. The European Commission has closed its 4-year antitrust investigation into Apple's rules for ebook and audiobook app developers following the withdrawal of the original complaint. The complainant, who remains unnamed, opted to drop the case, prompting regulators to end the probe. The closure does not indicate that Apple's conduct was found to comply with EU competition laws. EU regulators emphasize their ongoing commitment to monitoring tech industry practices, including Apple's, under the Digital Markets Act and broader competition regulations. The case's conclusion reflects the challenges in sustaining antitrust investigations without active complainants, though scrutiny of Apple's business practices in Europe is expected to persist. Senate Democrats have agreed to a deal with Republicans to advance votes on President Joe Biden's district court nominees while abandoning 4 appellate court picks. The agreement allows the Senate to confirm several district court judges quickly, despite GOP stalling tactics aimed at delaying Biden's judicial appointments before Republicans assume control of the White House and Senate in January. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's spokesperson highlighted that the trade-off prioritized advancing more district court nominees over the blocked circuit picks. The deal derails the nominations of Adil Manji, Ryan Park, and Carla Campbell, as well as Julia Lopez for appellate court seats. Manji, who would have been the first Muslim federal appellate judge, faced opposition from some Democrats over allegations linking him to anti-Semitic and anti-police groups. Park's nomination was also at risk due to lack of Republican support. Meanwhile, the Senate pushed forward on cloture votes for several district court nominees, including Spark Sukanen, Brian Murphy, Ann Huang, Cynthia Valenzuela Dixon, and Catherine Henry. Votes on their confirmations will occur after Thanksgiving. Other nominees, such as Sherrod Desi for Arizona and several others approved by the Judiciary Committee, also advanced. The agreement leaves critical appellate seats open, including those on the 3rd and 1st Circuits, aiding President-elect Donald Trump's agenda to influence the federal judiciary. Some judges considering semi-retirement may now delay their decisions, further impacting the judicial landscape. And with that, and as always, I thank you so much for listening to Minimum Competence, your daily news podcast for lawyers. If you're looking for more than Minimum Competence, links to further reading on all the topics touched on today are in the show notes. And reviews go a long way towards helping new listeners to find our show. If you have a moment and leave a rating or review on your podcast player, we'd sure appreciate it. And if you know someone that might be interested in a story we cover, consider sending them the episode. But remember, nothing here should be construed as legal advice because it is certainly not that. Minimum Competence is available at minimumcomp.com and wherever it is you get your finely crafted podcasts. If you haven't checked out the website in a while, give it a look. There are complete transcripts and resources for each episode and its corresponding segments, as well as an opportunity to receive new episodes in email, newsletter, form. We'll see you back here on Monday, and until then, note, we like to close out the week of shows with a featured musical piece. That will make these Friday episodes seem especially long. We hope you'll stick it out and enjoy the featured piece, but if music, and specifically classical music, isn't your bag, we get it. Our mouth sounds unrelated to the week's closing music ends here. This week's closing theme is by Johann Sebastian Bach. Johann Sebastian Bach, born in 1685 and died in 1750, was a German composer and musician of the Baroque period, widely regarded as one of the greatest composers in Western music history. Born into a family of musicians in Eisenach, he displayed prodigious talent from a very young age, mastering the organ, harpsichord, and violin. Throughout his career, Bach held prestigious positions as a court musician, music director, and cantor, most notably serving as the Thomas Cantor in Leipzig, where he composed many of his enduring works. His output includes cantatas, concertos, masses, and instrumental pieces, showcasing an unparalleled command of counterpoint, harmony, and structure. Despite limited recognition during his lifetime, Bach's music profoundly influenced later composers, earning him the title Father of Music. This week's closing music is Bach's Prelude and Fugue in G minor, BWV 861, from the Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. This collection of preludes and fugues in all 24 major and minor keys was revolutionary, both as a demonstration of the possibilities of the then novel well-tempered tuning system and as a masterclass in compositional technique. The G minor prelude opens with a flowing, somber melody that builds in complexity, evoking introspection and elegance. The fugue that follows is a testament to Bach's genius for counterpoint, weaving together a single thematic idea into an intricate tapestry of musical voices. The prelude and fugue in G minor exemplifies Bach's ability to transform simple ideas into profound statements, inviting listeners into a world of meticulous craftsmanship and emotional depth. It's a fitting choice to close this week, blending timeless artistry with intellectual rigor. Without further ado, Johann Sebastian Bach's Prelude and Fugue in G minor. Enjoy.